All right. Finally, Sony photographers, man, we are getting some great news. So, in 2026, we now are anticipating the release of the Sony A7R VI and the Sony FX3 Mark II or the Sony A7S IV. Now, as a photographer, I'm kind of excited about the A7R VI. And believe me, if it has what I anticipated to have, I'll probably be the first one with it. But today, we're going to talk quickly about what we anticipate about the A7R VI and if you think it's worthwhile just picking up a used or new A7R V, currently priced at around $3,200, $3,300, or wait till the A7R VI. And I got a little bit of a hoarse voice, all right? So, let's go ahead and get into it. What is up, everybody? It is your boy Brandon, man. Listen, it is great to be back. As you guys already see, I got my retired hat on. I am no longer in the United States Navy. Y'all give it up. I am 100% YouTube content creator, doing my thing. So I'm going to be dropping videos like crazy, man. I've been going through a little bit of transition phase right now, just transitioning to a civilian and doing all those things. So just bear with me because the videos are going to start rolling out. I promise you. But man, it just feels good to just do YouTube every day or post content every day and really start to get into all the time that I've been missing that I could have been doing more for my brand and for YouTube. But now, guess what? We ain't got those worries no more, man. We are 100% here. So now it's time to go. It's time to lock in because now y'all get to see my face all the time. I get to drop all the time, every day, all day. I've been waiting for this day for over 20 years just so I can do photography full time, man. So let's get into today's video. All right, guys. So like I said, I already have a little bit of a small harsh voice, but forgive me again for that because I really wanted to make this video for you guys as videos are starting rolling out and everybody is anticipating a new A7R VI. I wanted to give my thoughts as an A7 V user, as a Sony shooter. All right, I have been using the R series cameras as a photographer for a very long time, ever since the A7R came out. Then I switched over to the A7R II. I actually had two of those. I did not get the A7R III because I didn't think that there was a really big difference between the A7R II and the A7R III. It was mostly internal things, right? Then we picked up the A7R IV. I absolutely loved the A7R IV. It was a beast. But then the A7R V changed the game. It really did. From the flip out turn screen to the first time that Sony introduced the new AI autofocus. The A7R V really changed the game for portrait photographers, and it gave us a lot of flexibility. But now it's 2026, and appealing to an audience has become a little bit more difficult than before. Innovation has become a little bit more stagnant for companies than others, trying to figure out how to push the next generation of cameras and how to make them appealing to a wide audience, frankly, to basically make sales, right? In photography, in the photography community, this is a lot harder to do than coming out with a video camera. After you've upgraded the sensor, there's not much you can do for a photographic centric camera, all right? Because resolution in photography, resolution, pretty much everything, resolution and speed, okay? So how do you get those two together, and what is it that we don't have yet that Sony could do? Now, let's face it, photographers care more about beautiful, sharp images with those high resolution pictures. That's all we care about. After those two milestones have been reached and have been accomplished, the rest is just add-ons, okay? So what exactly can Sony do and give us that's going to make photographers like myself sell their A7R Vs and possibly move over to the A7R VI? And I'm going to put these lists. I got these two different lists of what people say and think that is going to have in there. Let me put these two lists up here before we actually even get started. Now, as a actual portrait photographer and flash photographer, I believe it definitely has to be better resolution. I don't think photographers will jump to the A7R VI just because it is 5 or 6 megapixels better than the A7R V. That's my first thing. So right now you hear a lot of rumors about the megapixel count, all right? I've seen everything from 67 megapixels to 80 megapixels all the way up to 100 megapixels, all right? It's really hard to pinpoint where Sony is going to go with this. Here's my first thing. If the A7R V has this beautiful 61 megapixel sensor already, is it going to be worthwhile as a portrait photographer to get the A7R VI because it has 67 megapixels? Are you going to be able to tell a difference between 61 and 67? Probably not. Now, the second thing with this is that there are two things that they have said about the A7R VI. That it's supposed to have a partially stacked sensor or a fully stacked sensor. I highly doubt that it would be a fully stacked sensor because the A1 is the only camera really with the fully stacked sensor, and they don't want to undercut the sales of the A1. Especially if you have a fully stacked sensor, there almost wouldn't be no reason to get the A1, especially A1 Mark II. So it is possible that it will have a partially stacked CMOS sensor that will make it a little bit more appealing with those faster readout speeds and reduced rolling shutter, right? But as a portrait photographer, you have to think about the things that are above this camera. So right now, you have to come out with something that is going to compete with the A7R V that's going to make people want to switch, right? Now, another thing that it says on these lists is that this camera is going to be able to shoot 30 frames per second and output 14-bit RAW. Some even say 16-bit RAW. I don't know how really true that is, but it is possible. If you have a partially stacked sensor for those faster readout speeds, it is possible. The A7R V can't shoot 30 frames per second, right? But I feel that 30 frames per second is more for the speed cameras like the A9 III, A1 Mark II, the A7 V. You know, those cameras are more than capable of doing 30 frames per second. It might be in there. Again, we are appealing to the photography audience, right? So it is possible they could give you 30 frames per second. As a portrait photographer, do I need 30 frames per second? No. First of all, I already have the A1, so I don't need that on my A7R V, right? I just needed to have a better resolution, and then I needed to have speed, really, pretty much. Those are the only two things that you're really worried about when it comes to a resolution camera, is the resolution, right? How good are those images going to look? Is it going to have the AI processor? So for what I'm understanding, if you're looking up here, it also says that it's going to include the Bionz XR2 processor, which is what's found on the A7 V, all right? You got the two Bionz processors together, which also incorporated the AI chip with it as well. So we're going to get 67 megapixels. That's what they said. A partially stacked sensor. I didn't see anything about blackout free, all right? I definitely think that if you're coming out with a portrait camera, it definitely should have blackout free. I love the blackout free on my A1. All right, I just like to just shoot so it doesn't come back up. You just go when you're trying to shoot and get that shot, right? So I'm hoping that it has blackout free because that is a photography feature, right? That's something that I definitely think you need in photography, especially if you haven't used a camera with a blackout free shutter. It is definitely great, especially if you're shooting out there as much as we are. Definitely think it needs a true mechanical shutter. All right. There's a lot that I keep seeing about 8K, 4K 30, 4K 60, 4K 120, different crop modes, things like that. I'm not really too keen on video specs, right? It's great if it has 8K 30 again. The A7R V has 8K 24. It is what it is. I don't use this for video. It's there if I need it. But again, this is only a portrait camera, so I'm not getting this camera to make it a hybrid camera. I'm not getting this camera to shoot video in it. If I can, if it's there, great. By all means, you're going to put it on there anyway, right? But I don't think that that's a selling feature. I don't think that the 8K 30, 4K, I don't think that that is a selling feature. The main selling feature of the A7R VI is going to be what the processor looks like, if it's going to be partially or fully stacked, and what the resolution is going to be. Because if it doesn't beat, it literally has to beat the A7R V by more than just 5 or 6 megapixels, right? If the A7R VI only has a 67 megapixel sensor, I probably won't get it, because the 61 megapixel sensor is great enough. Now, if you gave me like 75 or 80, a crazy jump in resolution, then we could probably talk. But I don't think that that's going to be enough. I don't think 67 is going to make a lot of people, especially if you already have the A7R V, I don't think it's going to make a lot of people be like, ooh, wow, oh. Oh my God, wow. Like, we need that wow factor, all right? I believe that it is probably going to have the A7R V body again. The A7 V has the skeleton of the A7R V. It has the exact same body. So if you're coming out with the A7R VI, it's possibly going to have the same body. Same screen, same flippy turny 4-axis. You know, I think it's going to have the same. It's also going to feature, I think, 8.5 stops of in-body stabilization, which is great. It's going to be great for hand holding. It's going to be great for us photographers who are either shaking or trying to get that nice steady shot. I love in-body stabilization, especially if you have lenses or manual lenses that you use. That is a no-brainer. I understand that the screen should be a little bit better on the A7R VI, right? It's supposed to have that 9.44 millidot EVF screen, but it's also supposed to include grayscale with some type of high brightness correction, right? So in the daytime or out in the sun, you're really able to see that screen a whole lot better than you see on the A7R V or our other previous screens, right? So if they include upgrades to the screen as far as brightness, as far as grayscale, as far as color correction, that is a good addition. I will welcome that as well. I don't foresee anything like open gate, internal RAW recording, 6K HEVC. Like, I don't foresee any of that stuff in this camera, right? Again, this is a resolution camera, right? This camera is not a hybrid per se camera or a video-centric camera. I think they're going to save a lot of those things for the A7S IV or the FX3 Mark II. Now, going back to the resolution, it almost reminds me of the rumors that we got for the FX3 Mark II or the A7S IV. You remember where a lot of you guys probably saw that the new video cameras is supposed to have like a 16 megapixel sensor? And a lot of people was like, that's stupid, because we already have a 12 megapixel sensor in the A7S III and the FX3 and the ZVE1. Like, those things already have this 12 megapixel sensor that we've used on several cameras already. So they are looking for better video quality. So why give us another video camera that only has about and improve like 4 megapixels? I don't think a lot of people might not even switch, but it depends, because video is a little different. Our video cameras pretty much have like nothing in it. So being able to shoot open gate, internal RAW, and so many other things is going to blow our Sony A7S III FX. It's going to blow that stuff out the water. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you guys have heard. Tell me what you guys think about the new A7R VI. Would you, if you have the A7R V, or if a lot of you guys out there have it, do you think the 67 megapixel sensor is enough to make you switch? This camera is very, very hard to beat. So in order for another camera to come out to really make me want to switch from this amazing camera, it's going to have some features. Like, I have gotten some incredible images with this camera. I'm excited, but I'm also curious on how Sony will create the second or the fourth, sixth iteration of the A7R series cameras in order to beat this camera. Let me know what you guys think about in the comments, man. You can see all the rumored specs up here on the screen again on what a lot of people think is going to have in this camera, some things that they don't think they're going to have. But a lot of people is anticipating the A7R VI to be a pretty decent camera. Will it be decent enough for people like me to switch? I don't know, man. We just have to find out. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Anyway, hopefully my voice was not that bad, man. But I got so many videos coming out because we home, baby. We just get to make content every day, so it's about to go down. So please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. If you haven't been over to my website yet, www.brandoncolephotos.com. Go check out the merch. I got a ton of merch on my website, man, for you photographers. This is merch that is created by photographers for photographers. So go and support your boy, man. I'd love to see you guys over there. But until the next video, man, tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Let's take this video down below. All right, and I'll see you boys in the next video. I'll holla, peace.